If I told you that in 2026, just choosing the wrong color could make you work harder, try more, yet still struggle to keep your money, would you believe it? A lot of people are already stuck in this state. They work a lot. They stay busy. But at the end of the year, when they look back, everything still feels unclear. Not because you are incapable, but because you are living in a year with energy that is too strong, too fast, and too likely to push people into making the wrong decisions.
Hello, I'm DavidFengshui. I'm 70 years old with over 30 years of experience in modern Feng Shui. No superstition, just psychology, energy, and real-life alignment. I've helped thousands of people regain balance, money flow, luck, and happiness in their lives. And if you're ready to refresh your energy, welcome. You're in the right place.
And no, I'm not talking about superstition. I'm talking about energy psychology and living behavior. The things that quietly control how you think, how you choose, and how money enters or leaves your life. In this video, I will show you how the right color can help you maintain your rhythm, stabilize your emotions, and open up financial flow in this highly volatile year of 2026. Before we begin, please subscribe to the channel and leave a comment. For example, I am ready to step into 2026 with clarity, stability, and prosperity. When it comes to money, most people only focus on skills, opportunities, and effort. But they overlook one silent factor that controls all of it: the psychological state during decision-making. You don't make money in a neutral state. You make money while stressed, tired, confident, or confused. And each state leads you to very different choices. Color is one of the factors that directly affects that state. The brain reacts to color faster than it reacts to language. Before you even have time to think, color has already influenced your emotions, your heart rate, and your level of alertness. That's why the colors you are exposed to every day are not just decorative. They are quietly shaping how you respond to pressure, to opportunity, and to money. When you understand this, you will realize that changing color is not about asking for luck, but about adjusting the way you live and the way you choose. And that is the foundation for everything to start moving differently. Now let's explore the 6 colors that open financial flow in 2026 together. This is not a list of colors to choose just because they look nice, and it is not meant to be used all at once. Each color represents a way of living, the type of person, and a way you operate your energy, emotions, and money decisions throughout 2026. When you recognize which state you are in, color becomes a very practical tool helping you live at the right pace and preserve wealth in the long term. 1. Fresh green, fresh leaf. Green. Fresh green represents a very fundamental state of living that is often overlooked. It is the state where people stop forcing themselves to push forward at all costs and begin to care about whether they still have enough energy to continue. Many people think their problem lies in money, in opportunities, or in not being good enough. But when you look more closely, the real issue is that they have lived for too long in a state of constant tension without any real pause. Fresh green does not appear when everything is going smoothly. It appears when you start to feel tired, even though you are not doing anything very different than before. When sleep is no longer deep. When your mind is constantly busy. When your body keeps sending signals, but you have become used to ignoring them. This is not weakness. This is a nervous system that has been holding on for too long. And when the nervous system is in this state, every decision, especially decisions related to money, easily goes off course. In prolonged stress, people tend to react instead of choose. You are more likely to spend money to soothe emotions, more likely to shop when exhausted, more likely to take on extra work out of fear of insecurity, more likely to jump into opportunities that sound attractive but do not match your capacity. These decisions are not immediately wrong, but over time they drain energy, erode stability, and make it harder and harder to keep what you already have. Fresh green is the color that helps you slow your pace down to a level your body can actually handle. It does not force you to change abruptly. It simply helps you slow down enough to listen to yourself again. When your breathing deepens, when your heart rate becomes less rushed, when mental noise settles, you begin to distinguish between real needs and reactions created by external pressure. This is the key point. People who strongly resonate with fresh green are often in a transition phase. It could be a career change. It could be a lifestyle shift. It could be after a major event that made them realize their old pace of life no longer fits. Fresh green does not encourage you to run faster. It encourages you to rebuild your foundation. And this foundation is not only financial, but health, daily rhythm, personal boundaries, and the ability to care for yourself. When the foundation is reset, the way you use money changes very clearly. You no longer spend out of stress. You no longer shop to fill emotional gaps. You also stop taking on projects that exhaust you just because you fear lack. You begin choosing things that fit your rhythm of life. And that is exactly what creates long-term stability. Fresh green does not bring loud breakthroughs. It brings endurance. And in real life, endurance is what allows you to keep money, manage money, and grow money over time. Those who go far are not the ones who run the fastest, but the ones who know when to stop, so they do not break themselves. 2. Peach pink. Peach pink. Peach pink represents a very subtle type of energy in modern life. It is the energy of safe connection. Many people try to improve their finances by learning more skills, working longer hours, or chasing new opportunities. But they forget one very important factor. Money often flows through people before it flows into your account. Peach pink is not about pleasing everyone. It is about how others feel when they are around you. Feeling respected, feeling heard, not being pressured, not being manipulated. In high-pressure environments, these feelings become extremely rare, and precisely because they are rare, they become valuable. Many professional relationships fall apart, not because of lack of ability, but because of a lack of finesse in communication. A sentence that is too blunt, a reaction that is too fast, an attitude at the wrong moment. When pressure rises, people naturally become defensive. Peach pink helps soften that layer of defense. It does not make you weaker. It makes you steadier in how you connect. People who carry peach pink energy often do not need to say much to persuade others. Their presence alone creates a sense of ease. When working with them, others feel safe. And when people feel safe, they are willing to cooperate long-term. They return. They refer. They stay connected. This is especially important for those in sales services, consulting, education, caregiving, or any work that depends on long-term relationships. People can be convinced once by words, but they stay only when they feel trust. Peach pink helps you build that trust naturally, without acting, without forcing. Peach pink is also the color of healing. It is suitable when you want to repair strained relationships, reopen dialogue after misunderstandings, or rebuild bridges after conflict. In many cases, the issue is not right or wrong, but that no one feels heard. Peach pink creates space for that to happen. People who resonate with peach pink do not chase clients. Clients come to them, not because they are cheaper, but because being around them feels easier to breathe. And in a world full of competition and pressure, that feeling has enormous attraction. Peach pink reminds you that wealth is not only the result of personal effort, but also the outcome of how you treat the people around you every day. When relationships are nurtured in the right way, cash flow becomes more stable and sustainable as well. 3. Lotus purple. Lotus purple. Lotus purple represents a way of living that is not common, but is becoming increasingly necessary. It is the state in which people no longer chase every opportunity that appears in front of them, but begin to filter and choose. Not because they lack ambition, but because they understand that not everything offering short-term benefits is worth holding on to long-term. People who resonate with Lotus Purple have usually gone through many phases. They have tried hard. They have explored many different directions. They have thrown themselves into work relationships or goals that they later realized were not truly aligned with them. Those experiences push them to ask deeper questions. Not just, how can I get more, but what is truly worth pursuing. Lotus Purple does not appear in noisy lives. It appears when people grow tired of that noise, when they no longer want to constantly prove themselves, when they realize that always running fast, always performing, always achieving may bring success, but also takes away many other things. Health, time, inner peace, deep relationships. In the state of Lotus Purple, people begin making decisions based on depth, not external pressure. They think long-term. They look beyond immediate gains. They are willing to pass on attractive opportunities if they feel those opportunities do not align with their values. This does not slow them down. On the contrary, it helps them move more steadily. Many financial mistakes do not come from a lack of information, but from a lack of clarity. When people are pulled into expectations, comparisons, and the fear of being left behind, they easily accept choices that are not sustainable. Lotus Purple helps you step out of that state. It creates the necessary distance between you and surrounding pressure, so you can see things more clearly. People who live with Lotus Purple energy are often quiet. They do not need to prove that they are busy or successful, but they have one very clear trait. Their decisions are highly consistent. They do not change direction constantly. They do not chase trends out of fear of falling behind. And it is this stability that helps them build long-term value. Lotus Purple is especially suitable for those working in fields related to intellect, depth, and guidance coaches, therapists, teachers, researchers, artists, or anyone who needs focus and inner depth. When you live in this state, you do not waste energy on unnecessary things. You reserve energy for what truly matters. Another strength of Lotus Purple is its ability to help people let go of unnecessary ego. Not letting go of ambition, but letting go of the need to be better than others. When the ego quiets down, you make wiser decisions. You do not need to prove yourself. You only need alignment. And that alignment over time creates the sustainability that so many people seek but fail to achieve. Lotus Purple is not for phases of running fast. It is for phases of building a solid foundation. People who choose this state may not take the shortest path, but they avoid many major mistakes. And in real life, avoiding big mistakes is just as important as seizing opportunities. 4. Fiery Orange. Fiery Orange. Fiery orange represents a completely different way of living. If Lotus Purple is depth and discernment, fiery orange is movement, inspiration, and adaptability. This is the color of people who cannot stay still for too long, not because they lack patience, but because they function best when they can experiment, create, and stay flexible in how they approach life. People who resonate with fiery orange often have quick minds, many ideas, and the ability to spot opportunities others overlook. They are not good at following established paths. They are good at creating new ones. But if this energy is not used correctly, it can easily lead to stress overload and scattered focus. Fiery orange is not the color of pressure. It is the color of flow. When people work under constant stress, creativity gets suppressed. When they feel forced, ideas cannot emerge. Fiery orange reminds you that to create and act effectively, you need space to breathe, to try to fail, and to adjust. Those who work, freelance, create content, work in marketing, media, startups, or any field that requires flexibility, tend to resonate strongly with fiery orange. They are not suited to rigid structures. They need movement change and constant renewal. When forced into overly tight systems, they lose motivation very quickly. Fiery orange helps you maintain interest in your work. When you are interested, you have energy. When you have energy, you can create value. Many people lose motivation not because they lack ability, but because they have worked too long without inspiration. Fiery orange helps reignite that spark. However, fiery orange also requires strong self-awareness. Without boundaries, people with this energy easily take on too much at once. Too many projects, too many ideas, too many directions, and in the end, nothing gets completed properly. Fiery orange works best within a flexible framework that still has clear limits. One very practical strength of fiery orange is its ability to help people adapt quickly to change. When circumstances shift, when markets fluctuate, when old plans stop working, those with fiery orange energy do not freeze. They pivot. They test new directions. They learn fast and adjust fast. This is a major advantage in modern life. Fiery orange is not meant for absolute safety. It is meant for those who accept movement. But movement here is not blind running. It is conscious movement with experimentation and learning along the way. When used correctly, fiery orange allows you to take action while keeping your mind light and flexible. People who thrive with fiery orange are not afraid of change. They see change as a natural part of life. And it is this mindset that allows them to always find new paths when old ones no longer fit. 5. Ruby red. Ruby red. Ruby red represents a way of living that is very different from impulsiveness or outward display. This is not the color of beginners. It is the color of those who have gone through enough phases to understand that true value does not lie in speaking louder or doing more, but in standing in the right position. People who resonate with ruby red usually have accumulated enough experience, enough friction, and enough understanding to realize one important thing. Not everyone who tries harder receives more. In many cases, the people who go far are those who know how to value themselves correctly, choose the right arena, and say no to things that are no longer proportional to their worth. Ruby red does not push you to rush forward. It helps you stand firm. When you stand firm, you are not swept away by the chaos around you. You do not rush to accept every opportunity that appears. You observe, you evaluate, you filter, and that filtering creates soft power. Many people fall into overworking, not because they are overly ambitious, but because they do not truly trust their own value. They fear being left behind. They fear missing opportunities. They fear that if they do not accept this job, no one else will offer the next one. Ruby red appears when you begin to step out of that fear. When you understand that your value does not disappear just because you decline something that does not fit. People who carry ruby red energy usually do not need to prove much. Their presence alone creates a sense of certainty. When they speak, others listen. When they make decisions, others take them seriously. This does not come from hard authority, but from consistency in behavior and choices. Ruby red is especially suitable for those in leadership roles, management, business building, or personal branding. When you are in these roles, what matters is not doing more than others, but doing the right things, at the right time, with the right people. Ruby red helps you maintain the calm needed to make those decisions. A very clear trait of the ruby red state is long-term vision. You are not tempted by short-term gains if they damage credibility, reputation, or core values. You understand that some losses in the present protect you for years to come, and that understanding sets you apart. Ruby red also helps you establish clear boundaries. You no longer feel guilty for saying no. You no longer feel the need to over-explain every decision. You understand that not everyone needs to understand you. What matters is that you understand what you are doing and why. 6. Bright red. Bright red represents a decisive way of living. This is the color of action. Clear choices and moments when you can no longer stay in the middle. If ruby red is standing firm, bright red is stepping forward. But it is a conscious step, not a blind rush. People who resonate with bright red are often standing at a crossroads. They have thought long enough, analyzed enough, delayed long enough. And they clearly feel that if they do not act, they will become stuck in their own hesitation. Bright red appears in moments like these. This is the color of decisiveness. Not because you are certain everything will be perfect, but because you understand that no decision becomes perfect if you never move. Bright red helps you stop circular thinking. It helps you choose a direction and move forward instead of standing still in fear of being wrong. However, bright red is not a color for impulsiveness. When the mind is unstable, when emotions are chaotic, this energy can push you to act too fast, speak too strongly, and create unnecessary conflict. Bright red works best when you already know what you want and are ready to take responsibility for your choices. People who use bright red energy do not blame. They act. If they are wrong, they adjust. If they are right, they continue. They are not paralyzed by the need to choose perfectly. They understand that controlled movement is always better than standing still out of fear. Bright red is very suitable for phases that require a reset. Starting a new project, making a decision you have postponed for too long, ending a situation that no longer fits. This is the color of closing one chapter and opening another, not through emotion, but through clear action. Another strength of bright red is its ability to generate momentum. Once you choose, the energy of this color helps you maintain forward motion. It does not allow you to fall back into endless hesitation. It keeps you moving. And in many cases, that movement creates clarity that thinking alone cannot. Bright red is not the color of absolute safety. It is the color of courage. Courage to choose. Courage to take responsibility. Courage to face the outcome, whether positive or not. And it is that courage that helps people break free from prolonged stagnation. Color only works when it is used naturally, without forcing. You do not need to change your entire wardrobe or living space. Just start with small things that appear every day. Clothing, accessories, your desk, personal items. The brain responds most strongly to what is repeated consistently, not to what is flashy or excessive. When choosing colors for clothing, prioritize items close to the body, such as shirts, scarves, shoes, watches. They do not need to stand out. You just need to see them and feel them. For the workspace, a notebook, a pen, a water bottle, or a small decorative item placed within your line of sight is enough to create impact. In your living space, use color through pillows, blankets, curtains, or details that are easy to change. Avoid using too many strong colors at the same time, as this can make the mind more fatigued. The most important thing is to listen to your own response. If a color makes you feel heavy or tense, reduce it. Color should only support your mental state. Never force it. When used correctly, color helps you adjust your pace of living more gently, and from there, behavior and decisions become clearer and more stable each day. Finally, the most important thing to remember is this. Color does not change your life overnight, but it changes the state you live in every day. And that state determines how you think, how you react, and how you make choices about work, money, and people. When you choose colors that match your current phase of life, you are not forcing yourself to become a different version of who you are. You are simply supporting yourself to live at the right pace. calmer when stability is needed, more flexible when creativity is required, more decisive when action is necessary, and deeper when it is time to reflect. If this content helps you see yourself more clearly, please subscribe to the channel, and before you leave a comment for yourself. I choose to live with clarity, and I keep what I create. In the next video, we will go deeper into how to combine colors with each living space and daily habits to optimize cash flow and long-term stability.